Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jolene. I am the head of trends and tours at WindowsWear, and today we're taking a look at some of our retail news. So let's go ahead and dive right in. As always, this is meant to be a dialogue, so if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to submit those via the chat features on Zoom, Instagram Live, Facebook Live, or LinkedIn Live, all of the platforms which we are streaming from. So, welcome everyone. Let's get started and take a look at what's going on over at Burberry. So, at Burberry, 58 million coffee cups have been recycled into new Burberry packaging. So, since its launch in February 2019, 58 million coffee cups have been recycled into new packaging for Burberry, right? This is pretty monumental in their push to become a more sustainable and eco-conscious brand. And by signing the Ellen MacArthur Foundation's New Plastics Economy Global Commitment, Burberry has pledged to eliminate unnecessary and problematic plastic. Using 100% reusable, recyclable, and compostable plastic, and using at least 20% recycled content across all brand owned plastic packaging by 2025. Now, they've made pretty good on their progress toward their goal by removing plastic lamination from branded retail and digital packaging alike. And using an innovative manufacturing technique, at least 40% of the packaging material is made from recycled coffee cups, right? Which gives us that 58 million coffee cup impression, right? The resulting product, which is this beautiful, has a beautiful, luxurious feel, is in fact plastic free, fully recyclable, and is certified by the FSC, the Forest Stewardship Council. They're also making changes that'll reduce the plastic footprint of their transit packaging, right? So all transit hangers, brand and care labels are made from 100% recycled content, and they'll continue to explore ways to move from single use to reuse models wherever possible. Burberry is currently trailing a recycling scheme for its waste generated from their logistics in the UK and Hong Kong as well. And with hanger and polybag buyback programs or take back programs running in each of these geographically respective locations, right? So this is good news and a good precedent to set for other brands that are looking to be leaders in sustainability. And Burberry is doing their due diligence. And I think we can all agree that we need more brands and more people at the creative level thinking this way, right? Thinking about the long term effect that they have on the planet and how to minimize CO2 emissions and their carbon footprints across the board. Let's take a look next at something we've got going on over in China, right? So, what kind of a space will help innovators give shape to the future of cities, right? Well, let's take a look at Shenzhen's Sea Future Lab to see how they're interpreting that, right? Of course, everyone is always concerned with what the future of retail will look like through brick and mortar or through innovative channels like their online presence. What does that look like when you melt the two together to create a lab space? It can look a little bit like this. So, this space was designed by Quad Studio in collaboration with a range of high profile creators. And the multi purpose innovation platform manifests a future with technology, with art, and with nature all in alignment. And oftentimes, I think when we talk about technology and retail, we don't necessarily think of the natural world. And I think this is a very smart fusion of that idea, right? This was established by real estate company Central Con. Sea Future Lab is a forward looking, innovative platform in Shenzhen. This experimental lab, now a showcase of an innovative initiative, rather, entitled Sea Future City, brings together inventive minds from all over the world to explore what the city of tomorrow would look like. So it's high tech. There's over 200 or 2,000 square meters in the space, and it combines an art gallery, a co-working space, a garden, a discussion forum, and a social gathering area. Let's just take a look at their video as I go through this so you can see what it's like in real time to experience this space. So the practice collaborated with Quad Studios, rather, collaborated with the likes of Team Lab, Motzi, Ross Lovegrove, Nagami, RFR, Patrick Blanc, Tungsten Studios to bring all of the interiors to life. That includes their digital arts, their custom sculptures, their green installations, and their ambient lighting. And while the construction of C Future Lab was delayed for 2 months due to the pandemic, it was able to officially open its doors this past July. This, of course, is a celebration of technology and art and nature. The interiors are designed to take visitors through this experiential journey, one that the designers hope is fueled by curiosity and anticipation to culminate in collective discussion and inspiration, right? So this is a very aspirational space, and they designed it so that its structure would allow for future evolution, right? The content should be constantly changing. The visitor's journey begins at a passage through time, which displays information about Shenzhen's evolution as a city through time. You're then led into the cell. So we're going on this journey now, as you see on your screen, or reception area that's centered around this immersive 3D printed sculpture by Welsh artist and industrial designer Ross Lovegrove. Here, the lighting scheme and the projection on the sculpture interacts with the visitor's hand movements when they arrive into the lab. And in the heart of Future Lab is the Creative Hub, which is this multifunctional 100-seat theater. It's filled with all these geometric furnishings and fixtures for events and for lectures once it's safe to do so again. And when there is no programming, so here you can see currently this is the Creative Hub, right? The theater where you can see all of that, those geometric furnishings and whatnot. And then when there's no programming taking place, projections by Motzi take an audience through this engaging panoramic tour of Shenzhen's urban evolution from a village to this very futuristic city of today. And while it partially departs from this futuristic aesthetic from the first area, the hanging garden that you see right here balances this really beautiful natural centerpiece with all of these sleek elements. So futuristic doesn't necessarily have to mean not natural. It can blend organic plant matter with, non-organic matter, right? We can blend all these kinds of aesthetics together that can create a really beautiful balance. French botanist Patrick Blanc and Quad collaborated with this arresting, what they call plant ribbon, which snakes all the way through the interior of their garden. Now, contrasting this sort of biological oasis, it even has a pond in it. But contrasting this, what they call a biological oasis, is their information labyrinth, right? And their information labyrinth is a digital exhibition space, which is defined by over 160 monitors that broadcast the multiple facets of Quad's vision for what C Future City is. Inside the studio, we also house a cafe, a bar, a co-working space, and private meeting areas. So it is a fully functional, realized space. Here you can see the cafe and the co-working space. And in the forum, there is a projection screen that wraps around a center stage. Small group presentations and discussions can be had of up to 20 people there, right? The space also includes cutting edge sensors linked to the speaker and their presentation through the presenter's gestures. And I think this is the kind of space that, architects should be questioning how spaces can be designed with the influence of technology, but also the addition to art and the addition to nature. And spatial design in the future should not be all about technology like we would see in perhaps like a sci-fi movie, right? There are ways to integrate art and nature in these new refreshing perspectives. And I think this is what drives See Futures Labs to innovate, right? So they're creating a really beautiful model here of what spaces in retail could look like. Very, very smart construction. So that was their video. Here's just some images that you can see. Again, the sculptures that I was speaking about earlier. The lab or the presentation room. The screens, the 160 screens showcasing all kinds of different content. Again, a sculptural element, co-working spaces, and that beautiful natural garden surrounded by a giant pond. Really innovative stuff. Let's move on over to Moschino and take a look at what's going on over at Moschino. So for Moschino, with 4 stores in Hong Kong already, right? Moschino has always been known for their unique and very playful design of apparels, handbags, accessories, right? Jeremy Scott is kind of the king of kitsch, and each season the collections are always full of these really wacky surprises and these eye-catching styles. They're always really appealing. And to offer consumers a new 24-hour, 7 days a week online shopping experience, Moschino in Hong Kong's official site has launched, in addition to their official WeChat store. So to create a very strong presence in China, they've of course partnered with WeChat, which is a huge form of communication throughout the country. And in addition to their latest autumn and winter collection for menswear, women's wear, and kids wear, let's take a look at what that looks like. The site will also feature this very wide range of accessories and shoes. And for the women's collection, it features a variety of these really beautiful candy colored colors, these really bright, beautiful poppy hues, cartoon characters that are also inspired by Marie Antoinette. And to celebrate the launch, customers who purchase any item get a free Moschino fondue set. There is also a $300 discount for Chinese shoppers who spend over $3,000. It's also worth noting that all standard orders sent to Hong Kong, Macau, and China have free shipping, right? So this has become a consumer expectation across the board, especially during the COVID era where people are shopping so much online. They really expect the brands to pivot those online purchases to be free shopping, as most of the brick and mortar institutions are closed. And special brand activations are going to be taking place all throughout the month for Moschino and are coming soon to Hong Kong. So this is definitely, the Chinese market is a huge consumer market. They are wildly into collectibles and to limited editions and capsule collections as a culture. So this is a perfect move for Moschino to make in that market and to create a really big presence here. Very smart for them. Moving on to Armani and the Armani box, right? Armani box on air, Sanya pop-up that lets their customers make their own movies. So L'Oreal has partnered with China Duty Free Group to reveal the Armani box on air pop-up at the Sanya International Duty Free Shopping Complex in Hainan. The Armani box on air activation is inspired, of course, by the glamorous world of cinema, and it invites shoppers to take over the director's chair and be the star of their own movies. This combines online and offline elements, which include this Modiface virtual makeup application, personalized Cremonera skincare consultations, and an augmented reality zone. It'll also feature live selling functions and tailor-made voice concierges. In addition, Armani Beauty's familiar gorilla mascot, Yuri, who you can see in the center of this image, is also makes an animated cameo and will help with the digital mapping technology, right? So this is both offline and online experience. For their opening, of course, they had a red carpet event featuring Ghost Lil and lots of Chinese influencers and celebrities that you can see here that are brand ambassadors for Armani. Now, this immersive, multi-sensorial experience invites shoppers to go on, of course, a cinematic journey by then performing and recording their own movie scenes wearing Armani's beauty products. The augmented reality zone, which we see here, offers 4 different screenplays that you can choose from. And those are Live Your Passion, Capture Your Glow, Escape to Nature, and live your own scenario. So you can see those sort of played out here. And the pop-up showcases some of Armani's best-selling products: the Armani To Go cushion, the fabric or the power fabric, the designer lift foundations, and the Armani lip range. It also highlights Armani Beauty's latest product innovations and limited edition releases with exclusive Yuri and star themed packaging. So the packaging is also exclusive to the experience, which always makes something feel very proprietary and feel very special. People want to, of course, buy things that they want to participate in exclusive content, right? They always want to say, oh, it's limited, it's one of a kind, right? So building out taking the time to effectively communicate that through your packaging, through the experience, both online and in real life, is a very smart move for them. And it's also really fun. And here we can see that famous gorilla, of course. Giorgio Armani very famously has a sculpture of this gorilla in his home. He's like his own personal mascot. And then, of course, the quintessential beautiful Armani red that we're very used to seeing. So that does it for our retail news today. We are going to go ahead and head on over to WindowsWear.com and take a look at what some of our members are working on. Let's take a look at some of our member projects. So over at Arsenal, New York, they're working with Cole Haan. They're introducing Cole Haan's latest Zero Grand collection, which is urging people to hashtag write new rules for post-COVID work, life, and culture. Among some of those bold statements are: failure is not an option, it is a necessity. Create your own opportunities by using what you have access to, and the future won't make itself, right? Arsenal New York has joined the initiative with its fall 2020 Rock Center window displays, highlighting the artists who inspired the hashtag Write New Rules movement. Let's see if we can get that to load a little quicker. There we go. So now we can go ahead and take a look at that project. Fantastic work from Arsenal and Cole Haan. Let's take a look at what's going on over at Coach. Of course, Giovanni Saccariello working on the Coach and Jean-Michel Basquiat collection. This is their Regent Street store in London. We talked about this story last week. Coach has launched several initiatives, but their fantastic collection with New York, Brooklyn-based pop artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. They've transformed their Rexy mascot to be Basquiatized, and this includes an initiative on TikTok. They've built out a game. They've gamified the entire campaign. It's really fun. It's really fantastic and very timely as well. Let's also, I believe, so we have another one from the same campaign. And this is in Raffles City. This is in Shanghai. So it's interesting to see the same project, right? Coach or Jean-Michel Basquiat and Coach interpreted in a different market, right? So here we have the London store. Here we have the Shanghai space, right? Same campaign, same idea, same Basquiat Rexy all throughout the space. There's a very smart through line, but here it's interesting how the conversation shifts a little as per the market demands, right? So it's interesting to see the same project in multiple cities, in multiple different ways with different interpretations, color schemes, inspirations, influencers to that market. Really beautiful work to Giovanni and his team. And that does it for this week's WindowsWear Live. If you are a WindowsWear member, please upload your projects. Please make sure that your profile is up to date and that your projects are uploaded. We love to discover your work. We love to showcase your work. So please make sure that you are always updating us so you can be featured on WindowsWear Lives every week. Starting next week, WindowsWear Live will move to Monday at 4 p.m. So for the rest of the fall season, Mondays at 4 p.m. will be our WindowsWear Lives with me every Monday at 4 p.m. And every Thursday at 3 p.m. we will continue to host our WindowsWear Lives with our industry members. So please join us this Thursday at 3 p.m. with our WindowsWear panel and industry members to take a look at what's going on in the retail space. That's it for me. Please have a fantastic week, and we'll see you on Thursday at 3.